Steve Manson. I'm a professor in the Department of Geography, Environment, and Society. I've had a number of students over the years at the PhD and master's level, and so I've been thinking a lot about issues in graduate education, but there's always new things to learn. So I'd like to introduce Mackenzie Sullivan, who's the Director of Graduate Student Career Services in the College of Liberal Arts here at the University of Minnesota. Mackenzie, what do you do?
What do I do? So I work with faculty, students, and departments, mainly around careers outside of the academic sphere, but also for careers within academia. And I was hired about 3 years ago in a new initiative.
Nice. So we have questions, so many questions, but I think we've really boiled them down to two important ones.
Okay.
So we're hearing more and more about the need to prepare students to explore and pursue diverse career pathways. So what can you tell us about the current trends in career exploration and preparation for graduate students?
Sure. I think as probably most faculty, staff, and students are aware, the need to look at careers outside of the academic sphere has existed for a while, maybe as far back as the 70s or 80s, but clearly things have changed a lot during the pandemic. I think there's a new urgency that students and staff and faculty are feeling around helping students pursue pathways that may not be within academia. The job market right now, as most folks know, is not fabulous for tenure track types of positions. And some students are now starting to pursue PhDs for other reasons than looking at a tenure track position. And so I think there's a renewed urgency of how do we help students pursue pathways. I think the good news is that the job market, at least as exists right now, and as we see it, for students outside of the academic sphere is actually really pretty good in many sectors. I would say in the last 2 or 3 months, I've had many students who were unable to find jobs before the pandemic, students and alumni finding jobs. And so I think the market outside of academia is actually pretty good right now. I also think that there's way more resources and help for students than there used to be. And that includes a lot of faculty willingness, some change in some departments who are really starting to talk to their students about careers that don't look like tenure track faculty. And plenty of online resources. So I think things are moving in a good direction for assisting students. And I think that's just a direction we need to continue to work in.
Excellent. That sounds really great. I'm so glad to hear about all these resources and the good work that you are doing. So my other question then is, and I think this is true almost across the board, but many faculty members don't feel especially well equipped to guide their advisees or their mentees to pursue careers outside of academia. So many faculty members don't feel especially well equipped to guide their advisees or their mentees to pursue careers outside of academia. What are some ways that faculty can support students' exploration of career goals, no matter what field or career sector?
Yeah. I think the good news is faculty don't need to be experts in this kind of career exploration. It's not really folks' job to have to do that. There's career services that exist at the university. I think students just need to know that the faculty that they work with have a willingness to talk about careers outside of the academic sphere. And then there's plenty of resources to help faculty with those discussions. So I think a couple of things: showing willingness to explore careers with a student, I think, is the most important thing. Certainly connecting students with any alums that folks know is another important thing. And then knowing what resources exist for students. Again, nobody has to be an expert. We're just asking that you partner with people in career services and alumni to help students out. And so willingness, knowing what exists out there, and I know we're going to be providing some links and resources along with this video. And then language, I think, is very important. I think that when people are using language that is affirming of careers outside, saying, you know, there are multiple career paths you could look at. There are diverse career paths you could look at. There's many professions you could pursue. I think that's the kind of language that shows students that there's a willingness to have these conversations. I know recently the graduate school here at the University of Minnesota has been really advocating for the idea of an individual development plan, which is a plan a student would come up with to help them through their academic time, including pursuing career options. And I think this is a good thing the faculty can use to have a discussion with students. So to say, where are you on your career development? What does that look like? You know, what are you exploring right now? And I think starting to have those conversations even from the very beginning, when you're meeting with students in the beginning, during recruitment weekends, all through the time, if you're expressing a willingness to talk to students and an acceptance that students are pursuing multiple paths, that's probably what you need to be doing right now. Certainly, we have some online resources that are very useful for faculty and students, Beyond the Professoriate, My Science IDP, that if folks really want to dig into what careers look like, many professional societies, academic societies have good resources in the humanities, particularly. Historians have a good one. Language societies have one. So there's a lot of resources out there, but the most important thing I would say is showing willingness to talk about careers, and then using language that makes students feel supported. From there, there's many things that you can do, but that's probably the two most important, I think.
That all makes a lot of sense to me. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for all the work you do for our students and helping folks like me kind of getting them out on their way.
Yeah, well, thanks so much. Thanks for having me. And again, you all faculty have a career services person at the university. We'll provide a link that you can connect with them if you want to learn more. And they are always willing to come in to your department or your college to talk to you.
Great. Thanks so much.